Mike says, I bought the SPAC for Sixtera before the merger. Now I have stock in warrants. Can you clarify how, when, if I should exercise the warrants? Great question. Sixtera, if you're not familiar with, ticker symbol, I believe is CYXT. They just completed their SPAC merger. They were the company that came from Starboard Value Acquisition, Starboard Value Funds SPAC. Once the SPAC merger is finalized, even if you just held the units before the merger, you'll now find some stock and warrants in your portfolio. For Sixtera, I believe it was a 1-to-6 distribution rate. For every 6 shares you owned, you got 1 warrant. But this is kind of a general SPAC question. When a SPAC goes public, there are circumstances where, well, let me back up for a second. Generally, SPAC warrants are good for 5 years from when the business combination is complete. So a 5-year clock just started. The standard acquisition price is $11.50, or the exercise price is $11.50. So that means you have, for every 1 warrant of Sixtera you have the right to buy 1 share at $11.50 anytime within the next 5 years. However, there are some circumstances where SPAC warrants can be forced to be exercised early. The general rule is that if a SPAC is, the stock is trading for $18 or more for a period of 30 days, the company can redeem those warrants for essentially nothing, meaning that you have a short window of time to exercise them or sell them before they are redeemed or cease to exist. The company is required to give you at least 30 days notice to do that. So the other is if the stock is trading for between, I believe, $10 and $18 is the standard, they can do what's called a cashless exercise, where the warrant will convert to stock at a ratio that you could find in the S1 prospectus that was filed when the SPAC went public. So in either event, you have to have 30 days of notice before that can happen. And the best answer I can give you as to how, when you should exercise those is keep watching the news. Make sure you have news alerts set for Sixtera, which is an important thing to do for any SPAC that you might have warrants in, because the last thing you want is for the company to announce that it is going to redeem those warrants, which means cancel them effectively. You get something like a cent for each warrant if you choose to have them redeemed while they're still in your account. The last thing you want is for those warrants to be redeemed without you knowing, and then you're left with nothing, which is a very real possibility if you're not keeping tabs on the news. So with any SPAC warrants you have, make sure you have news alerts set for that company, because like I said, they're required to let you know that they're about to redeem the warrants a little bit before they actually do, 30 days. So that gives you ample time to decide whether you want to exercise them or whether you want to sell them or whatever. If you're not comfortable with that, I'd get rid of the warrants, is the best advice I can give you. If you're not comfortable with keeping track of the company's news alerts, making sure that you don't get kind of blindsided by a forced redemption of warrants, then I would make sure you get rid of the warrants and just focus on owning the stock. SPACs generally do force redemption of their warrants if they're trading for a high price. You won't find like DraftKings warrants still on the market right now, or Virgin Galactic warrants, because those have all been long since redeemed because the price went up so much. So the warrants have a 5-year time limit, but there's a big asterisk with that.